Today I'm going to be ranking every Raw male superstar's finisher on a tier list. I've done my best at compiling every single wrestler. If I've missed one, please let me know. I'll be doing a SmackDown list of its own. I recently made a video on finishers that would hurt in real life and what wouldn't hurt in real life, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. So here's the list of the Raw superstars that I've compiled. WWE.com seems to think this is every single Raw male superstar. The first man on this list, AJ Styles. The Styles Clash is his finisher. If you didn't know that, kind of bizarre to be completely honest. Is it an S-tier ranking for a finisher? Probably not, because I imagine you can't pull this off on every single person. Can you imagine AJ Styles trying to hit this on the Big Show? I don't think it's a finisher you could pull off on everyone. It's a cool looking finisher, but based off the fact that you could only hit it on select superstars, it's a classic finisher. He's always used it as far as I'm aware anyway. I can't also rank it based off of the ability of doing it on people, because immediately underneath him is a person that I think's finisher is sick now, so it's going to be bumped up, but that is another finisher that can't be done on everyone. The Styles Clash for me, I'm probably going to go for an A, honestly. It's a good finisher. It's not the best. It may even be a B. We might mess around with this list. Akira Tozawa, before I started recording, I didn't have a clue what this man's finisher was. I still don't really know what this man's finisher is, and I can't work it out because obviously he's basically a jobber and he doesn't really do a whole lot to win matches, so I don't know. But going off of the 2K25 finisher list, apparently his finisher is a senton, and just based off of that, honestly, it's gotta go. It's gotta go bottom, and I've also gotta correct this. It's an F. It's an F. There's not much to say about it. It's not a powerful move. It's in a way, it's probably one of the safest finishers, which is a positive. Not many people are going to get injured from it, but it's a boring one to say the least. And not that a finisher makes or breaks your career, because I'm not being funny. Akira, he feels like he was always going to be a jobber. I can't say much about him. I don't keep up to date with Akira, so unfortunately Next up, Austin Theory. I'm going to go based off the thought process here that I couldn't actually remember what his finisher was, therefore can't be that great. And then when I'm looking at it, also not the coolest. It seems very awkward of a move. It kind of reminds me of a GTS for Punk, but nowhere near as smooth. It's not even close to an A, but I feel like B is being generous. It's not an F because a senton is incredibly boring. It's going to be a C. Austin Theory is going to a C. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, yeah. I don't know what just happened to me there, sorry. 8 down fits him. It goes with his persona. It's him, 8 down, but it's a pretty poopy finisher. Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker's finisher is a classic. Everyone ends up having a spear at some point, I guess. As some male superstar on every roster always seems to have a spear somewhere. Bron Breakker's, I'm going to base it off of his ramp one. The one where he sprints and goes higher than the opponent. That's the spear I'm basing it off of. I'm not going to base it off of his normal one, even though that's sick as well now that I think about it. The speed the man gets. It could be an S tier. It could be an S for his spear. Just off the athlete this man is. I think it's an S tier spear. It's an S tier spear. You can argue with me there if you want to. But S tier for spear. It's a simple. All I have to say is how athletic he is with the way that he moves. And based off of the ramp spear, which I know isn't his complete finisher all the time, but he's done it a couple times. That spear's nuts. And that is an S tier. There's a couple people here that I'm going to have to Google the finishers for because I don't keep up to date with them. Brutus Creed is a prime example. And the only way that I can kind of figure out what the finishers are is via 2K25. Because that's the easiest way to have finishers noted down. Brutus Creed's finisher, I had no idea what this was until I've just looked at it now. It's a safe finisher, I guess. Very using yourself as the weapon is the best way to describe it. It's called the Brutus Ball. He basically turns into a cannonball is the best way to describe it. It's better than a senton for Tozawa, but again, I think to gain anything, that finisher needs to change for him. Eventually, this isn't critiquing the wrestlers list. I'll give it maybe an F again, honestly. But C. I mean, if he puts power in it, I haven't seen a clip of him doing this, but I'm going to give him a C. just off of my kind heart. Chad Gable's a bit of a tricky one here, and I'm trying to base the list off of singular finishers. I don't really know what his finish is classed as. I don't know if it's the ankle lock or if it's his German suplex from the corner that I forget the name of. I'm gonna base it off the German suplex, even though the ankle lock is his finish, because that's where someone would tap out. But when I think of Chad Gable's finisher move, I think of the German suplex. Now, that German suplex that he pulls off in the corner, where he does the roll and then pulls them, from memory, he's done that to someone like Gunther, who is a bigger man than him, and it's a nice looking German suplex. Now, albeit it's a basic move, but you can't beat a nice looking move. So, like it more than the Styles Clash, honestly. I think we're going to put him in an A in front of AJ. We may move AJ down, depending on what goes on, but I like that so far. That German suplex, it's nice. It's a nice move. Now, a very well-known man, a lot of people's favourites, arguably. I really disliked the thought of him coming back, but now he's back and he's a changed man, and he's just good, isn't he? CM Punk, he's just good. GTS, I mean, at this point, you can call the move nostalgic with how long the man's been in the wrestling, I guess. The GTS is a smooth move. It can kind of come out of nowhere, which is ideal. It's easy enough to pull off. The thing with the GTS is it's a smooth move that can also lead from one move straight into it. Or, as far as my memory serves me, he can get hit with a finisher and then all of a sudden they end up in a GTS and boom. It's a smooth move, and it's not an S tier move, which is kind of crazy now that I'm thinking about the fact that I've got Bron Breakker there as S tier, but the athleticism in that spear, godlike. So this is where I'm going to move AJ down. Even though the Styles Clash is more impressive in a way, AJ's going to come down to B, and CM Punk is going to go next to Chad Gable in A. Now, next up, honestly, I apologize, but I don't even know his name. Cruz del Toro, and I'm going to have to check his finisher too. I'm going to assume some sort of frog splash. Now, it's kind of crazy that I was able to somewhat predict that. It's not a frog splash per se, but it is a high-flying move, and I'm pretty sure Cruz del Toro is a high flyer. Again, I can't lie, it's not someone that I keep up with, so this is all based off of my opinion, so you can trash it as much as you want, or you can agree with it as much as you want. It's a cool finisher, so it's definitely not an F, even though I'm going to D-rank him because I don't care for him. But it's a cool finisher, so he's got to be bumped up. And I don't want to put him on the same level as AJ Styles. So he's going to go C, but he's going to go in front of Brutus and behind Austin. Austin may actually be bumped up here if C is too full of the people. Dominic Mysterio. He's got to be an S tier. Dominic Mysterio has a frog splash. Now, if I want to be picky and base it purely off of the skill of a move, this is S tier. The way that the man just performs it so perfectly. I'm obviously being sarcastic. When I compare it to someone like Cruz del Toro, where he's doing flips and stuff, all cool and all, Dominic Mysterio, frog splash. I like Dom, so my personal preference takes it up. He's going to be a B. He's a very close S. I'm not going to lie. He's very close to being up there as an S tier ranking. Purely, he's an A. He's an A. I've changed my mind. He's an A. Purely based off the respect. His father, Eddie Guerrero, he takes it up there. He should be an S, and I'm even debating it. Dragon Lee. I have no idea what this man's finisher is, so bear with me. I can't say I've watched a whole lot of Dragon Lee. I know they were trying to, as far as I'm aware, pass a torch in a way between Ray and himself. His finisher is Operation Dragon, which I was expecting him as a luchador to be pulling off some crazy high-flying stuff. I mean, it is a high-flyer-esque move. It's also, it just doesn't look the best. And looks is a thing here that I like to base things off of. And that ain't the one. It kind of looks like a weird modified bulldog in a way. I know it isn't, and I'm wrong, but I don't like it. Purely because of the fact I don't like it. It's not going to go F because I'm not going to be harsh in that way, but it's going to put him in the C, and Austin Theory's going up because I don't like how long that C tier is getting, and Austin isn't that bad. At the same time, it's not as good as AJ Styles' style class. Finn Balor, I'm going to be quick to the point here. The coup de grace It's such a simple move. It's just jumping on a man. Just jumping on a man. The only I don't even know if that's a real word, to be completely honest. The only thing I don't like about it is how much it probably could injure someone, including Balor. Somehow he could, I don't know, snap his ankle. I don't know how that would happen, but you never know. Life's crazy. But it is a cool move, especially if he goes sky high, coming down. I don't know how he doesn't hurt people when he lands on. You know, obviously he comes down at an angle where he's a professional, but it's a cool move. And for that, honestly, he can be A. But I feel bad on Styles there. I'm going to switch the two. He's going to be B and AJ's going to be A. I've changed my mind. This happens. We have El Grande Americano. His very own self. I don't know why people think it's Chad Gable, because obviously it isn't. Very similar moves, finishing moves, but arguably better. So he's going to be S, because Chad Gable copied this man's finishes, and therefore that's why he's been D-ranked, you see? So El Grande Americano is an S tier ranking for his version of the German suplex that Chad Gable stole. Grayson Waller has a strange one, and it's essentially a stunner. Now, a stunner is an all-time classic if it's done by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anyone else that does it is nowhere close to as cool. So therefore, it's not an S for a stunner. It's not an A for a stunner, but it is a B for basically a stunner. Gunther, don't really know which one his finisher is. Sleeper, powerbomb. I'm gonna go off of the fact that it's the powerbomb, and honestly, I hate his powerbomb so much. I think it looks awful. Now, I know people won't agree with that, but I hate it, and it's actually annoying me at the thought of it right now, because it just looks awful. It really does. I don't know why. I just don't like it. It looks real, like he's actually doing the move to hurt them, which is good. I don't know. I don't dislike him or anything like that. The move just weirds me out every time I see it. It doesn't look like it would be a finish. I don't know how to explain the way my mind is thinking that powerbomb look, but it just doesn't look like a good powerbomb. I think of a good powerbomb like a Last Ride, a Batista bomb. They've got the full grip. Gunther seems to pull him up, slam him down. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not even going to be a B. It's a C. Gunther's a C on the powerbomb. Sleeper hold, if it was a sleeper hold, let's imagine it's a sleeper, because again, same with Chad Gable, usually how he finishes a match. If it was the sleeper, he can go probably F. Ilya, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I do apologize, but he's got two finishes again that confuses me. I don't know which one's which, but they are powerful. They look pretty cool. One's just a slam down. Looks like when you go for the finish in UFC, kabang, and then the other one is like a diving headbutt. Now I'm going to base it off of the one that I think is cooler, being the slam down finish. It looks brutal. The headbutt reminds me of the Brutus Creed Brutus Ball, but the slam down is a nice finish. It's not anything special. It's not an S tier. It's not even A, to be honest, but it's not cooler than a stunner. So it's B. It's a nice slam down. Most of these wrestlers have kind of two finishes that they'll go for. The one I always picture Ivar doing, and this says a lot because I don't really take notice of the tag division much these days because I'm just kind of keeping up with the singles and whatnot, but Ivar, I have seen the moonsault he pulls off, and the fact that this man is a big man and he can pull off a moonsault and it looks good. He's a big man, so it's going to do some damage. His moonsault is above Balor's coup de grace because the weight coming down, and he's just how is a man that big doing that, you know? How is he doing that? I don't know. JD McDonough, I was under the impression for some reason his finisher was a diving headbutt. The look of the man somewhat reminds me of a certain Benoit, but it isn't a diving headbutt, which has just surprised me. Or maybe 2K25 is wrong this time. Apparently his finisher is called the Devil Inside. It's a back body drop. It's not a very impressive finisher in all means. Potentially an F. It's not as bad as the senton, but it's not good. Jey Uso, the Uso splash, and now he's adopted the spear lately, but the spear really doesn't suit him. Could make it suit him, but if he needs to work on something, I don't know. I can't pull off these moves that these men do very well, but he can't pull off a spear very well at all, and I think he needs to stop doing it because it just doesn't suit him at all. The Uso splash, I don't like it. It's not as in I don't like it because it's awful. Jey Uso fixed the splash way better than a spear, although it's still nothing crazy that gets me excited for the move to happen. I'll give it it's on the edge of a B. I'll give him a C, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it. I've got two big main event guys here, and their finishers don't do it for me. I don't know what they could do. I can't give them tips. Gunther's isn't bad. Neither's is Jay. None of these people's finishers are bad. This is just personal preference. Keep that in mind. I don't even know what I like. The one thing I can say, and he's not on this list, but he when I do the SmackDown list, if you guys want to see it, one person I know is S tier. Blows my mind a little bit here, and this is a tangent, but an S tier finisher for me because it looks sick. The only problem I have with it is the fact that it never ends a match, and it's the Crossroads. The Crossroads is a sick looking finisher. The way that they can fly through the sky, I think it's Seth, the one that was like a floaty one years ago. It's such a sick finisher, but he could never finish the match with it unless he does 3 of them in a row. Side tangent over, but that's what I'm basing it off of. Even an F5, I think sick. It's basic as hell, but it's sick. Probably because of who it is done by. That's a slight problem we have here with personal preference. If you're a bigger guy, you're probably going to be higher up on the list. For me, it's just the way it is. Jaqueen Wild, if that's how you say his name, Jaqueen, Joe Queen. 450 splash. I could have guessed that this would be his move, but a 450 splash is cooler than an Uso splash, but it ain't going to be. Yes, it is. It's better than whatever the hell this was. Cruz del Toro's was more flippy. I prefer a 450 splash. So Julius Caesar here, Julius Creed. Super finishers confuse me when it comes to these games because he, weirdly enough, has a 450 splash too. But I'm going to backpedal here and say that that's not his finisher. And his finisher is noted as a sliding lariat. So he's doing a cartwheel into a clothesline. He's going to have to go at the back of C. And I need to change this order too because that's a back body drop. That looks a bit more right to me. Didn't change much, but there you go. Kofi Kingston, Trouble in Paradise. It's got the twistedness to it. All it is a kick, but when you base these finishers off of all it is, you'd look at Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music as just a super kick, and you'd go, that's ass. Kofi is essentially an OG nowadays. The Trouble in Paradise is nice looking. I'm gonna put the Trouble in Paradise as strong B, but behind Finn. Now here we are, Logan Paul. His new finisher looks sick. My only problem with it is the fact that he cannot do it to everyone. And a finisher should really be able to be done to everyone. Now, I know you can look at this list and say, wait a minute, you say a finisher should be based off of being good if you can do it to everyone. You definitely can't do a Styles Clash to everyone, but ignore me. Logan Paul's move, the flip into like a DDT, looks sick. And sick is the only way I can describe it. His finisher is an S tier finisher because it just looks so cool. It is in front of El Grande. Braun is I was not expecting to have Braun as the top best finisher on this list thus far. But he is up there. He really is up there. Now, Mr. Ludwig Kaiser has a finisher by the name of something I cannot pronounce, like Landen Bugsnug. But it's essentially a German suplex where they get folded inside out. It's nothing special, because if we go based off of what I said about Dragon Lee having a backdrop as a finisher, then really it should be just in front of that, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be just in front of that. It's nothing crazy. It's a simple finisher. Sometimes simple is good enough. With Otis, I'm a little bit confused because as far as I was aware, his finisher was the Caterpillar. We're basing off of the footage I'm seeing here from 2K25, and it's a pop-up powerbomb, which doesn't sit right with me. Otis performing a powerbomb on someone, mind you, is way better looking than Gunther's, so that immediately puts it up. But I don't really like the pop-up powerbomb, so it's going to be a back of B maneuver. Penta's pretty cool. His finisher's pretty funky looking too. I honestly may put him, I'm going to give him a high B. I mean, I couldn't do the move, so that's all I've got to say about that. Pete Dunne's is, again, another simple move, but it fits him for the style of wrestler that he's meant to be. It doesn't change my view on the fact I don't like the look of the move. I'm going to be harsh. It's essentially a backdrop, but it's a fold inside out kind of backdrop, the same as Ludwig's like German suplex London bung. Ludwig's is cooler, so he's behind Ludwig. Tsunami and Uso Splash is essentially the same move, so I can't be too harsh. The only thing that I can say, I guess, is it would be more powerful, so therefore it's better than the Uso Splash, but it's definitely not. They're the same move, so I can't really put one higher than the other, so they're essentially the same. Rey Mysterio, 619, elite move, performed by an elite luchador. Very popular man back in the day, but I feel like people don't appreciate him as much nowadays. But to be completely honest, I don't know where he is. Don't know if he's injured. WWE.com says he's active. I don't think I've seen him in a hot minute, but maybe I'm just dumb. But the 619 is an elite move. Honestly, he's probably got to go S. But that's based off personal preference, because I love me a Rey Mysterio. The biggest little man there ever was, if I'm quoting correctly there. I've not really kept up to date with Rusev, so I'm unsure if he's got a different finisher. As far as I'm remembering, the match could kick is the way he used to finish things. I like myself just a powerful looking move. It's not the same, but if you threw Drew McIntyre in here, Claymore is a strong up on the list. Now, if we throw it onto my personal preference on the superstar themselves, which this isn't a list about, but Rusev, not phased about really, and I don't really know if they know what they're doing with him too well. Purely off the move, like a running super kick, it can just be a B. It's nothing elite. It's not as good as a stunner. The stunner from Grayson's got to go above Austin too. Sami Zayn, I don't want to speak illy on the man, but I just can't. I'm just not bothered. Haluva kick though is his finisher. I don't like it. I think Sami goes. Arguably, I would actually put Sami's Haluva kick slightly better than Flash's. He gets his leg pretty high up, so he's going back a bit. Seth Rollins' stomp I really like, and I'm gonna base this off. He's only done it once, as far as I'm aware, but I'm gonna base Seth Rollins' curb stomp that he did to Roman, where he did the double foot at the Rumble. I'm gonna base it all off of that. You could even throw the super stomp that he does sometimes. It's nothing fancy, but it's gonna be B. I like a stomp. He can be top of B, and then Gable's gonna go behind Punk too. Yeah, Sheamus, OG, Brogue Kick. Brogue Kick can fold a man inside out. He's gonna be back of B, even though some would probably argue the two ginger men here have a very similar move, but I prefer Sheamus, so therefore Sheamus is gonna be A tier. Tyler Bates' finisher is the Tyler driver, just a simple power bomb essentially, except he starts him in a pedigree position. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. He's not going A though, but it looks like a nice powerful powerbomb. To be as simple as that. It's better than a stunner not done by Stone Cold. It's reminding me of a Penta. He's gonna go high B. High B for a man that I don't really keep up to date with whatsoever, to be completely honest. But I like the move. Last but not least, for the Raw men, Xavier Woods. His is a tightrope elbow drop. And purely based off the fact there's not really been a move like that in this roster, it kind of sets him apart in a weird way. It's a high-flying move, it's a jumping finish, but it's an elbow drop, which for some reason I'm very surprised that no one else has, really. I don't know if anyone has an elbow drop on the active roster as their finish. I'm trying to think of like Io Sky. I know she's got some crazy looking elbow drop, but I don't think it's a finish. Purely off the tightrope walk, which I don't know if that's just a game that I'm seeing. I can't remember the last time I watched Xavier Woods wrestle. He's gonna go back of A, and that is my tier list for the Raw WWE male superstars. You're probably gonna disagree with this. That is my list. If you enjoyed watching this tier list, let me know in the comments, and hit a subscribe button and let me know what you want to see wrestling wise. And if you haven't watched what I potentially think would be a good move in a real life circumstance, go watch that video. See ya.